next startup will be Dyamand, and they're passing already. So Dyamand provides the tool to bridge the gap between devices, am I have it wrong? If I have it right, and applications like SAP, Microsoft, Azure, Amazon Web Services. So it's actually bridging the gap between OT, IT, IoT, and the bigger platforms. Am I right on this one?
Yeah, it's actually bringing everything together.
All right, so I'm curious to learn about how you're going to bridge the gap, because there is a gap, and you're going to be the solvers. All right, happy that the two of you, we will give you, as always, we will give you 10 minutes talk, and then we will do 20 minutes of Q&A. Are you ready, guys?
Have to be.
Okay, please, this is Dyamand.
Thank you. Okay, so let me start with a bit of my story. About 7 years ago, I started as a lean consultant for industry, so that gave me the opportunity to visit more than 200 factories in Europe. And what I saw is that in the process of digitalization, different factories were approaching different steps. Some of them, they were in the beginning where they were just connecting few machines in order to go with the first steps in automation. Others were more evolved, trying to get the data to the cloud, and in the same time, more vendors that provide those machines created their own solutions in the cloud. And more recently, where Internet of Things appear, things got even more crowded in the industry perspective. We have IoT solutions, sensor actuators that are coming with their own platform. We have the vendors of machines with their own platform, and we also have open platforms. So everywhere there is a platform, there is a device, but where is the data? And that created actually in the market 4 main problems. Data is decentralized. There is no centralization between the application, the platform that exists. The management of the networks and devices is also spread around the platforms. So if you want to have a global overview, you always have to look which machine is connected to what. Data, because of the layers of cloud solutions, machines, is also not coming in real time. And the thing that is most annoying for the factory owners is that every time they change equipment or they add equipment, they have to repeat all the process over again in order to steer the data to their own data platform. So here comes Dyamand. Dyamand is a layer in between the physical equipment and the cloud that centralize all the data and provide a unique environment that enables also applications to use the data in the format that they want. So therefore, there is no more vendor lock-in in that perspective, and everything is managed in one single place. Of course, everything is real-time as it comes just to one platform. But this is not confirmed by us, just by us. It's also confirmed by our clients. And here I mention IMEC, where they use our platform because we can offer a unique interface to all the systems that they deploy. And even Actinium, where they decided to use our platform for their clients in the process to go for Industry 4.0. But this is about the client perspective. What we want to achieve is to have this platform available to everybody. And our vision is that we can make from Dyamand the platform as a service product that can enable data everywhere in the world. The market is not empty. We have competitors, but we try to stand out from the point of view that we do all the effort. We enable the environment from the machine to the cloud, and we maintain that perspective, so there is no coding. Modularity is actually a very important aspect because we know that equipment changes, so we want to offer the possibility to adapt your environment in a more flexible way. Reusability, that brings also scale. So that's an important factor when we want to evolve with everything. And of course, most important, there is no vendor dependency. If we look at the market, we are actually playing a role between the professional service providers like Delaware and managed service providers. And we estimate that 11% of the effort of the market is something that we can target. Of course, this is a total addressable market. What we want to achieve is the serviceable available market that we believe that is around 1 billion euros, and that's our target. Leads and customers. We already signed with Actinium and IMEC, and after today, we will continue with the draft joint roadmap with Delaware, but also we approach also the final clients. So we support all the steps for all those companies that want to go in the digitalization process. Even more, with Spacewell Delta Q, we are involved in a Vlaio project in order to have a perspective in the real estate. How we plan to do it for the next phase? We divided our roadmap in two phases. The first phase is the next 2 years, where we want to create a better network of partners and service providers that we can offer our solution and further offer it to the final client. But in the same time, in order to be able to go full SaaS, we still have to develop the platform, but also we want to create a catalog of devices. That will now allow us to go just data points in the perspective of sales and enable us to connect also with SAP and Microsoft. So all the stream is automatically done, and we can scale globally. Of course, we target other markets like cities and smart vehicles, as we see that the trend is going there. We plan to break even by the end of 2024. Going to the market, as I mentioned before, is based on platform as a service. That means we sell data points. Of course, we created few features that our clients can use, but most important, we can address all the kinds of situations that are in the market, from the hosted environment that we control to the premises. So the industry landscape is covered from all the situations possible. I will let now Jelle, the father of Dyamand, to introduce the team.
Hi, so I'm Jelle, co-founder and CTO of Dyamand. And actually, what André already mentioned is the future of Dyamand. I will talk a bit about the history of Dyamand. So Dyamand started in 2011 in IMEC, that was then iMind, as an answer to a frustration I had in the project I had to deliver. And in 2016, 2017, due to the growing number of projects, Laurens and Anna got hired. Laurens more on the operational side of things, Anna on the more front-end side of things. And then at around the same time, André came to visit us for his PhD. And then in 2020, he joined the team to look at the commercial opportunities that Dyamand could bring. That brings us to now. And then we saw that we needed some more expertise in the legal and financial side of things. And that's why Freddy joined the team.
Perfect. So now if we go about the future and we talk about the numbers, as I mentioned, the next 2 years are for us to bridge, to have a platform ready to go SaaS. And for that, we need support and financial support in the perspective that we have the bigger cost in regards of personnel. Even though, from a technical point of view, our cost will not get higher as we don't store the data, we just are an enabler in this full scenario. And that brings me for the final ask. We are here to raise 1.2 million euros to bridge the next 15 to 24 months and to enable Dyamand in the market, but also to make it platform as a service ready. As I mentioned, the investment in kind from dFund is already drafted in a roadmap to tackle the next year. We believe that now is the right moment to be in the market. There is a need, we have attraction, so therefore we are looking for your questions. Thank you.
All right, this is an interesting. Please join me in the front of the stage because we're going to go to the Q&As.
Perfect.
And I'm happy that we will work together with Delaware, and that will be great.
Yeah, but that's the idea.
That's the idea, but we also need a co-investor. Right? That's,
absolutely. Exactly.
We got that right. Okay. Now let's first hear then the Q&As of those possible co-investors. You ready?
Absolutely.
Here we go, 20 minutes.
Thank you for your pitch. I'll first start by asking the jury members present here if there's any questions. Go ahead.
Why are you both relevant in the development of Dyamand? Because you didn't really talk about your experience, your skills. What do you really bring to the development of that company?
Thank you for the question, and we were actually expecting a question like that. It was difficult to include everything in the pitch. Jelle actually started with Dyamand from the situation we were in research back then. And because of the projects and the trends like Internet of Things, cloud computing, he also always was in contact with those projects that require data. And due to the frustration that every time he has to enable data for other researchers to process it, that brings us for today. We saw in 2016, as Jelle mentioned, a need for a solution like us in a more scalable perspective, where we were involved in the City of Things or in the City of Amber. And from there, we increased the team. In 2018, I was doing my PhD, and my PhD was focusing on Internet of Things and trying to give a qualitative structure of it. And to be honest, from my research, I saw there is no way to create one standard for everything. And I was looking more how to make the translations. And this is how I met them, and I saw that that is relevant. I had a background in consulting in industry. I also finished a degree in electronics, but I was an entrepreneur since 15 years ago. So that brings me to Jelle and to the team and say, okay, now is the time to bring in the market. And because Jelle already created a team with expertise, technical expertise around it, I said, okay, we have already a team, let's move it and put it in the market and see how everything evolves. And we saw that there is attraction in that.
Another question, as maybe I misunderstood, but Dyamand exists since 2011.
It started in 2011, but Jelle, maybe it's better to...
How come you are still surviving today without any revenues?
Maybe
Dyamand as a company didn't start in 2011. Dyamand as a concept started in 2011 within IMEC to support research projects back then. And in 2011, it was basically my 20%, so I did that besides the actual work I was supposed to do. But then, as I said, in 2016, 2017, the project that needed Dyamand were too much to handle for me alone, so I started drafting a team, a technical team, because we were still under the umbrella of, I think back then it was still just Diamand, and then we transferred into IMEC.
And to make the bridge there, we spin out this year from IMEC and Ghent University in May. So we are a company since May this year.
And so I met Andre, he saw the commercial opportunities and then convinced me to go commercial, because for me personally, the steps were, I wanted to prove that my idea that I had since a long time, the frustration I had in projects, that it would be valuable in research. For me, that has been proven. And so the next step for me is to prove it's commercially relevant, if that answers your question more or less.
Okay. Eric?
Yeah, follow-on question. Thank you, gentlemen, for your pitch and the completeness of vision. I'm trying to get a feeling of the product truth, if you will. So you mentioned, you covered the whole spectrum from a technical catalog over device management, data management, reporting, etc. Some of those parts are widely available, let's say. So I'm trying to get a feel of what is your true technical uniqueness? Where do you really differentiate technically?
Maybe just to use one more slide, if this is working. You see, these are the 5 scenarios in the market available, and there are different stages of digitalization. And you see the first part is A, where there is no cloud environment. And as you see, Dyamand is covering quite a big part of what is happening. If we talk about long-range technology, short-range technology, Dyamand is covering everything. It's not going in the data processing. That's very important, because this is not our focus, but it's a focus to enable data for those environments that process the data in a more simple and centralized way.
Okay, and a follow-on question. You kind of mixed PaaS and SaaS. Maybe it was my lack of understanding, but what are you really aiming for?
A platform as a service.
A PaaS.
Yes. Okay. But sometimes when you abbreviate every time, it's flowing very fast in your mouth.
Right.
All right. Sure.
I will pass my time because we have invested in IoTech. I'm on the board of IoTech, so obviously I have 6,000 questions, but now would not be the time. But I will follow up with you guys.
Okay, thank you.
How long, what's the implementation time needed for a new customer, and how is that covered in the cost that you're having there? Is there a consultancy fee attached? Or?
So at this moment, we are basing on projects, and I can tell you from Delaware, collaborating with them, the time for us to enable a project is about 1 day. That is also including the customer talks, enabling the solution on site and being remote. We actually aim to, from the moment you have the devices and you run Dyamand on your premises, to have the full entire chain ready in 5 minutes.
That's fast.
And is there a lot of maintenance issues?
Maintenance issues, they are not a lot, but there needs to be, you have to provide SLAs always in this environment. And for that, that's the added value and the innovation that we brought with us through the spinning out of process, is that Dyamand was created with those elements in head even from the beginning. And because we went from different phases, different trends that appear in the market, we were the first one. As you know, in research, you always have the first contact. We learn a lot. And we enable Dyamand in a way that is scalable and is reliable for the industry. We saw that.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Any questions remote? Jeroen?
First of all, thanks a lot. I was wondering, given the ask for 1 million for the next 6 to 8 quarters, what are you really looking for in an investor? Would it be a strategic party? Would it be what kind of knowledge or other things besides the money should the ideal investor bring?
To be honest, the ideal investor would be somebody that can bring us to the market faster, has the knowledge in order also to guide us. We are always learning, and we are eager to find out more information about how to reach the market. And especially that we said that we do it in phases, so the next 2 years, we really want to be ready in the perspective of going globally. And for that, we really want to have somebody that is able to support us in that way.
Valeria? Are you live? Can we hear you?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. My question is, you mentioned also going to the market faster. Can you elaborate a bit more on your go-to-market with partners? You mentioned that you have part of your business model was going through partnerships. Can you elaborate a bit more on that?
To be honest, we saw what our partners are more used to. So we saw SAP and Microsoft, how they do it, and we said why we should reinvent the wheel. If they are already collaborating with partners to get to the market, why we don't do the same in order to offer the full stack. And our collaboration with partners, and that you saw also in my roadmap, is actually to have a more faster and more credible entrance to the market, and that we see through partners, and we have to take to look what the rest of the platforms are doing. And this, I think, will bring us a big difference in the market as we see today. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you. Yeah, we're trying to understand also what kind of value would you bring for these partners? What would be your differentiator for these partners?
What was the confirmation already from the partner is that they don't have to know about the topology of the technology. They don't have to investigate how everything works. They have on a shelf, you can see our solution is a solution on the shelf that you use, and you make the minimum configuration as possible, and you have already the data in the cloud, and you can already bring your added value on it. I think the fact that we are trying to be part of their offer and trying to be part of their journey to their clients, I think that's also bring quite a big aspect to take into consideration by our partners.
Mark, you have a question?
Yeah, just really to clarify on the key milestones, right? When I look at the milestones that you have, they tend not to fit into what I would expect for a orchestration or management layer that sits between IT and OT, right? So you talk about integrations with SAP, Microsoft, and AWS, and then integrations with Autodesk, Salesforce, and MuleSoft, right? I would expect there to be a focus on the PLM vendors like PTC, Unigraphics, and others to basically pull in the OT side of things, as well as the integration maybe into the controllers and the device management gateways that you would get with ABB and others. So why the focus on what appears to be more ERP SaaS related rather than IT and OT requirements?
We already have that part. so far. So the part where you connect with the machines itself is something just a matter of time and a matter of enabling those integrations that we need to expand the catalog. And so the edge perspective, we already have it. What is required now is to make the full integration also to the cloud, because we saw that most of the data has to be processed in the cloud.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Remotely, Frank?
Assuming you really touch the data and also as a consequence, you introduce a data security risk, can you elaborate a little bit on the security you are using?
Yeah, so you have a number of parts in the whole chain. And so, of course, you start with the device, and there Dyamand will adapt to the security mechanism that the device has. And from that point onwards, there's a state-of-the-art security up until the application. So the only part that is potentially unsecured is a part that is currently already unsecure. And what we can do is we can chip away accidental complexity, so complexity that you can control, but the inherent complexity of the technology will always be there. And so then you have to look at other ways to secure that through the network security and such. But that's how that's done.
Okay, thank you.
No further questions, I think. I have one more question out of curiosity, and it might be relevant for VCs who want to continue the discussion with you. Do you have you spin out of a company, so I guess the intellectual property is fully owned by the company now? Or what's the relationship with IMEC as the company, or as the organization, or iMinds in the old days, where the IP was developed mostly?
At this moment, we have drafted a license agreement as royalties, but we also have the possibility to buy the IP.
Okay. So they're not a shareholder?
No, not at all.
Okay, then I think we finished this session. Thank you very much.
Questions are over.
Thank you very much.
That was good, that was good. I'm so curious if your beautiful name Dyamand also reflects on the hands. And I'm curious on that one. So please, Wim, raise that Olympic question. There we go.
Yes, the jury is out, as they say. Who's interested in continuing the discussion with this team going forward? 1, 2, 3, 4.
We have four votes. We have four.
That's
okay.
Very much an interesting result. So discussions will continue.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're happy with it, eh? 4 votes?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, so after the program you can start discussing further details.
Looking forward.
Guys, thanks for being here. Please, you can leave the stage by that one.
Thank you.
Bye, Dyamand.
Bye.